to Beyond the Headlines on the WMBD Plus app, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Brianna Rittman.
And I'm Alex Berger. Today we're discussing an update on the Paradise legal battle. Then we're learning why voting in Peoria County was delayed.
And lastly, we talk about why this Black History Month is extra special. But our first story of the day, the Illinois Gaming Board has postponed a final vote on a casino's future after a stunning change in plans. Now our web reporter Andy Kravitz joins us now to break it all down. So Andy, there was a meeting today, and what happened?
All right, well, there was a anticipated thing where the gaming board met and they were supposed to take a final vote on this plan. It was going to be a 160 mil plan to redo the boat, and they would get rid of the boat and they would put a building on what is the parking lot now and float water under that from the river and call it water-based.
And this plan, the boat would stay.
Right. And so what happened was the city filed suit saying that's not what it was supposed to be. And this morning, Boyd Gaming, the parent company, said, nope, we're going to put a barge there. We're going to scrap the whole thing, and we're going to change it. They called it a minor revision.
Is it a burger barge?
Is it the burger barge? No, it's not the burger barge. It could be. But so what's going to happen now is, because the city has a pending lawsuit where they're asking a judge to file a restraining order to stop this. Well, the city said, okay, we're not sure. We haven't seen the whole plan. They're asking for some time. And the gaming board said, fine. So they're going to hold a meeting in about 3 weeks after at which they might vote on it. They might not. They might approve it. They might not. And the city's lawsuit is still hanging out there because the city lawyers, they're saying, we haven't seen the plan. We don't know if it fits the letter of the law or the agreements that we had 30 plus years ago that said all land-based gaming must be on this side of the river, while water-based could be on the other side. There is a hearing set next Friday in Cook County to go over this a bit more.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the agreement back in 1991. Could you kind of fill people in a little bit more on how that happened and more of that background?
All right. What happened was, at the time, there were some owners and they had some issues, and then there were some more owners, and they came over, and the boat was moored here for a little bit while they were building the mooring and stuff over there. But the agreement basically said that any land-based gaming has to be on this side of the river, and the other side can have one water-based. Both cities have agreed to split roughly 2 to 3% of the gaming revenue each year. So that brings in to the city around 1.8 or 2 mil each year.
Yeah. So now with that, what's next? I know that you said that they've moved, they're going to meet at a later date, but there's also some court stuff going on. So what's next for that?
They're going to have a hearing next Friday,
Okay.
potentially on whether the city will get a restraining order to block it. But, and there's always a but,
Always a but.
the
Always a
city has got a meeting on Tuesday. If they get all of the information, and if they feel that this complies with the law, they might just drop it and the whole thing might end, or they might keep the fight up and we'll keep moving down that path.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah,
thank you, Andy, for breaking it down for us. Now listen to this. Here's an interesting twist on artificial intelligence. Robots need human bodies.
Oh.
The Rent-A-Human platform lets AI agents hire humans as gig workers.
Oh, God.
It looks for books and pays humans for physical tasks. When it launched Monday, the creator says he immediately got 130 people signed up. By Tuesday, the site advertised more than 73,000 human participants. Anyone who's interested just has to make a profile, list their skills, location, and hourly rate. If they are needed, autonomous task bots will employ them. Humans are paid through crypto after proving they completed the task.
What a weird world we live in. What is
have we come
this?
to?
What is this? Please, hey, don't participate in that. That is weird. That is weird. Have an actual job. Do something that
we
isn't
have
AI
people
or
that do
robots or any of that.
There's temp agencies
nonsense.
that do that.
Yes.
Why do we?
Yeah.
I don't know. That blows my mind.
What could you have ever imagined this?
When I was of the age where I was actively looking like that, no.
Thank you so much, Andy. Well, when we come back on Beyond the Headlines, we've got Jack Bazikas about a recent update on voting in Peoria County. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Another big local story of the day. Vote by mail in early voting is delayed in Peoria County.
Wow, WMBD's Jack Bazikas joins us now. So, Jack, why did this happen?
Yeah, so this was kind of, quick. I covered a story last week, and they were like February 5th, and then I got in today, and they were like delayed.
Wow.
So, it took me by surprise. I think they announced it yesterday, but I wasn't here. But the reason this is happening is because of ongoing litigation involving a Republican candidate for governor. Now, that candidate, his name is Joseph Severino, and he is appealing the decisions that removed his name from the March 17th primary ballot due to a lack of petitions, signatures for it. So a lot going on there, and we gotta wait. I know right now it's currently his appeal is in the appellate court, and we gotta just kind of wait to see what the ruling is before anything could happen, basically. And I spoke with Elizabeth Gannon today, and she was saying that they could have sent out ballots, but then they would, depending on the ruling, they'd have to send out more ballots and redo it. So they just said, nope, we're gonna delay it altogether. Hopefully, they don't know when, but hopefully by next week they can get the ball rolling.
Yeah, and so now there are other counties, Tazewell, McLean, Logan, Woodford. What are other counties doing as far as early voting?
Yeah, they are on schedule. They are all set. You can vote by mail if you're in Tazewell County, Woodford, McLean. I know our Bloomington reporter Austin reached out to Kathy Michaels today in McLean County, but they couldn't get in touch. They couldn't make it happen today. So but if you're in other counties, you are all set to go. You can vote by mail. You can do early voting, and you should be in contact with your election commission to get all that sorted out.
But we see policies or procedures are always changing with this. So where can people go to get the most up-to-date info as it comes?
Yeah, you can go to the Peoria Election Commission's website, and they will have all of the newest updates and the newest data that you can check out, and also CIProud.com will keep you updated, of course. As soon as we find out that Peoria County is good to go, we'll put up a release, a news story on it, and we'll let the public know.
Yeah. So you and I, in the last general election, we would go and cover, polls of people going to the polls. We went to East Peoria where they had the Felipe
Yep.
site.
Right.
Yep.
Was there, it was delayed, but when you went to the Peoria County Election Commission, were there people there at all?
Nope.
No.
It was
Wow.
completely empty. All of the booths,
People got the message.
Yeah, people got the message.
that's
It was completely empty, and they also had a sign on the door saying we've postponed it. It's delayed. But it was completely empty in there, which is why I had to use file footage for some of that footage.
Wow.
Yeah.
But completely empty, and hopefully they said hopefully by next week.
Yeah.
So
now, did she say anything about anticipation for what voters will be like when they actually get there?
Not particularly. It's kind of standard stuff. It's just literally it's just delayed. So everything should stay the same. And Again, hopefully by next week. That's not a promise.
Right.
It could take longer, but they're hoping for next week.
And with the changes to the actual mail system, they're hoping that there's, you know, a little more of a immediacy to when people put their ballots in, because the postmark situation
Right.
is a little
It's a lot
different.
going on.
There's a lot this election cycle.
There sure is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Jack, for breaking that down for
Definitely,
us.
definitely.
Now, you are our movie expert, and you're already in the hot seat. So what movies are hot this weekend in the box office?
Yes, Send Help is really kind of the #1 spot again. It's in its second week. I think it's projected anywhere between 9 and 15 million for its second week. Last weekend, it opened to 19 million, just beating out Markiplier's, a YouTuber named Markiplier, his self-funded film. He had a self-funded film called Iron Lung, which also debuted last week, which did incredible numbers, especially for a self-funded film. That opened to 18 million. So
He funded that all himself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's going to be interesting between those two. And then there's a new movie coming out, the third in the trilogy of The Strangers.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's kind of got an uphill battle. I know the first one opened to, I want to say it was 15 million. The second one opened to 9 million. So it's on a downward trend.
Wow.
So this third one, they're calling it the final chapter. So they're going to try and try and get audiences in seats. But that's what's going on in the
That's
theaters.
very brave of them to do a part 3 after.
Very much
what
so.
happened
Yeah,
in
right,
part 2.
right. Well, yeah. For me though, what I've been watching Wonder Man on Disney Plus,
yeah. Okay.
the new Marvel
Yeah.
show. I know it's not in theaters, but I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't think it was going to be. I didn't have high hopes, you know, because they dropped the whole season at once. They didn't go week to week, so. I watched it all in one sitting, and I was very surprised by it. I really enjoyed Wonder Man.
Yeah, before we move on, is there a movie that you're really, really looking forward to
Yes.
year?
Yeah.
We are.
We were talking about it earlier, Michael, the new Michael Jackson movie, and you
Right.
don't like Michael Jackson.
We're going to just expose.
We're gonna
I like
expose
Michael Jackson.
I
Alex.
was waiting for the point. I'm glad you said that. Because you set yourself up for that one.
I'm not a Michael Jackson fan. I will be watching the Michael movie. It looks fantastic.
It looks so good.
Fantastic.
I'm so excited.
His nephew's playing
His
him.
nephew is
Please
playing
don't repeat
him.
that during Black History.
Yeah, right.
Don't.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so excited for Michael.
man.
We should just have like a WMED night, and we'll go out to the
Go
theaters.
right.
We'll rent out a whole row.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we can enjoy it.
Well, thanks, Jack. Well, we return on Beyond the Headlines. Rihanna will be in the hot seat this time to share what milestone the celebration of Black history has reached. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, our final story of the day. It's February, meaning it's Black History Month, and this year is a big year for the celebration of Black history. It's Brianna's turn to be in the hot seat to share more about this milestone year. So, Brianna, what milestone has Black History Month achieved this year?
It is the 100th anniversary of celebrating Black history. So Black History Month was started in February 1926 by Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Now, prior to that, in 1915, look at, there he is right there.
Look at that.
The father of Black history.
Yes.
That is his autobiography right there, The Miseducation of the Negro. Now, in 1915, he started this organization called ASALH. The reason why you see Lincoln and Frederick Douglass is because that's why he chose February. So there's always this joke of like, oh, we got the shortest month, but he intentionally chose February to honor President Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, the abolitionist. Now, ASALH is the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. And so that was created in 1915 in Chicago. And so, you know, because he was in the American Historical Society, they didn't have anything on Black people, so he wanted people to be educated and acknowledge the contributions that Black Americans did to American society. And so that's how we ended up with Black History Month. Now, it started as Negro History Week in 1926. 50 years later, in 1976, it had since evolved into Black History Month, and President Gerald Ford then issued an official proclamation from the White House at that time, and so it's Black History Month. Fun fact, though, it's not just in America now. It's in Canada, it's in Ireland, it's in the United Kingdom, it's in Australia. Some people still go with February, some people have July, some people have August. It just depends on what country you're in, but it has evolved because Black history is the history of whatever country that you happen to be in. There is somebody Black there, so you acknowledge them as well.
Yeah. Now, with it being Black History Month, obviously there's a lot of events around Central Illinois. Do you know of any events coming up that people can attend to celebrate the month?
That is a great question that I'm looking for the answer to because
Yeah.
I'm trying to get in on the celebrations. I find it harder in Central Illinois to find things for Black History Month or Juneteenth versus when I was in the South. Like, there's a Black History Parade in
Yeah.
Florida going on, but
Yeah.
it's also very chilly up here too. So it just kind of varies. So if there is something, email us at news@WNBD.com so we can attend. At least I like to attend.
A parade would be fantastic. I think that would be a great thing to have.
That's what I miss. There's not a lot of parades around here. Like,
Yeah.
we get veterans sometimes, and sometimes Labor Day, depending on which city, whether Bloomington Normal or Peoria. But yeah, I'm used to Martin Luther King Day parades and Black History Month parades. Now, granted, up here, when we had the Martin Luther King in March,
Yeah.
I was like, he wasn't marching in Peoria. It's too cold for that.
Yeah.
So,
That was it was in the South, so
Right.
it was a little warmer than it is in Central Illinois.
Yeah,
but it's still, I mean, it's still a really cool thing. And there's also an artifact at the Peoria Riverfront Museum of Frederick Douglass where he highlights a positive experience he had in Peoria.
oh, that is nice. That's good.
I find it very interesting how Peoria is almost at the center of like.
a lot of
Yeah.
history. No matter what nationality or race somebody is, there's a lot of history here in Peoria, and Peorians should be proud of that. Yeah,
Exactly.
Richard Pryor.
Yeah. We got the statue. We've got one of the greatest comedians of all time. Come on, we there's a lot to be proud of this Black
Yes.
History Month.
So
Awesome.
happy 100 years of celebrating Black history. Shout out to Dr. Carter G. Woodson.
Happy 100 years. Well, thank you so much, Brianna. Fantastic job. Well, listen to this. So Gen Z actually has a hard time sleeping in silence. That's the result of a new study released in Newsweek. It found that 38% of people rely on white noise or some kind of sound to help them fall asleep. And among those people, Gen Z had the highest percentage. Why is this? Experts say Gen Z is so immersed in a digital environment where silence is a rarity. Ain't that the truth? White noise takes away background sounds and it creates a consistent hearing environment that makes the brain relax.
It reminds me of people that are like from the city and then they move to like the country and they can't deal with the hustle and the bustle of the noise, ambulances, cars driving by, people walking, chattering, like New York City, the city that never sleeps. And then
I used to listen to city noises to fall asleep, actually. Because, I mean, I live in Tremont, so I live in a very quiet town, which is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Love living in a quiet town. But there would be some times where I'm like, I'm going to pretend like I live in a city. And I would put city sounds on. But I will say something funny to this is one of my best friends, his name is Blaze. I'll give him a shout out. We would have sleepovers as a kid, you know, where all the guys come over, and he would wear his headphones, and we both love metal music, but he would have it full volume.
Wow.
Full volume while he falls asleep. Now I'm a dedicated metal fan, but holy cow.
Wow.
Full volume.
Why does he sleep on his ears?
We did
Does he still have his hearing?
He does.
Oh,
He
goodness.
does. It's incredible. Yeah. Do you listen with noise?
I do water sounds,
Yep.
the waves,
Yes.
definitely the waves.
Yes.
And sometimes some instrumentals, jazz and all that. But as far as like, you know, nature and all that, the waves.
The waves. Yes, it is. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for today's Beyond the Headlines.
You can find all these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.